A Hennepin County judge has decided there will be two trials for the death of George Floyd. Esme Murphy is in our newsroom to explain why. Esme.
Well, good afternoon, Sheila. The decision, which has enormous ramifications for the trial, is because of COVID-19. The judge ruled that Derek Chauvin will be tried separately beginning March 8th. He faces murder and manslaughter charges for George Floyd's death. He was the former officer seen kneeling on Floyd's neck. The judge says after jury selection, opening statements for Chauvin's trial will begin no earlier than March 29th. The other three former Minneapolis police officers, Tu Tao, Thomas Lane, and J. Alexander King, will all be tried together in a second trial beginning August 23rd. They are all charged with aiding and abetting. The prosecution filed a motion 2 weeks ago asking that the trial for all four officers be delayed 3 months because of concerns about COVID-19. The prosecution argued that waiting 3 months would allow more time for people involved in the trial, including jurors, to get vaccinated. Judge Peter Cahill's ruling today says even using the largest courtroom in the Hennepin County Government Center, it is still, quote, impossible to comply with COVID-19 physical restrictions in a joint trial with four defendants. We spoke to criminal defense attorney Joe Tamburino, who is not involved in the Floyd case, about the impact of this ruling.
They've already set up a scenario where the three other officers have already basically pointed the finger at Derek Chauvin and said, hey, it's all his fault. Do you expect this to only magnify that?
Yes, absolutely. Great point. Because think of the optics. Mr. Chauvin is going to go first, even with all the COVID issues, even with the state requesting a continuance. The court has stated Chauvin will go first and the other three will be 6 months later. Just the optics of that makes it look like to the public, hey, Chauvin's the main guy. The other three we're not as concerned about.
Tamburino says if Chauvin were to be acquitted, it would make the trial of the other three officers far more difficult for the prosecution because, again, they are accused of aiding and abetting Chauvin's actions. Now, earlier efforts by the three other officers to get their trial separated from Derek Chauvin had been rejected by this same judge. Now, the prosecution is weighing in, saying they disagree with the judge's ruling. In a statement, Attorney General Keith Ellison said, family members and unnecessarily burden the state and the court while also running the risk of prejudicing subsequent jury pools. The Attorney General, though, says nevertheless they are ready to go to court for that first trial of Derek Chauvin, which starts with jury selection on March 8th. And we'll have much more reaction on our newscasts at 5.
Important developments. Thank you so much, Esme, for that report.